It is the RIOT podcast. Hello.
Hello. Happy Monday, everybody.
Hello.
Is that
Hello.
all? Is that your contribution today?
That's all I got.
Well, that and what's in the podcast.
I'll tell you this right now. This is just some podcast bonus material right here. You know, Jared Mark of Jared Mark and Graceful Closure and all that stuff.
And Yavoya.
He just said that he's been drinking Folgers coffee all week and from a Mr. Coffee pot. So he's either sick or lying. Which one is it?
Maybe he was with family or something, and that's all they had. Like he was away from his normal setup. That's not him. That's not him right there.
I commented back at him. We got to find out. We got to find out. He just tweeted back at me that fast. He says, "Bro, life is cray, and I'm enjoying simpler times."
Nice.
And what should we type back to him?
Well, let's be supportive, okay? Because
you've abandoned.
No, that's not supportive.
Yes,
he's so into coffee stuff that he's always known for like really elaborate setups for his drinks and stuff. But Folgers and a Mr. Coffee pot is not normally his style.
That guy has judged me so harshly. So harshly across the years. And here he is.
Now, here's your moment to be the better person, though.
Yeah. No, I just said you've abandoned your first love. That's all I said.
Okay, just leaving it at that.
No accusation there. It's no big deal. So, okay, where were we? Oh, our show. Yes. Our show where we did talking today. I'm back in the studio.
Yay.
So that's exciting. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but there is one. We talk about PlayStation.
And you just feel better, too.
Oh, man. I legit feel so much better. We talk about George Clooney, gravy boats, Super Nintendo World, PlayStation 5s. What did Nikki buy on Black Friday? Because they got her.
They did, and I'm fine with it. And
Ready Player 2 is floating out there. I'm kind of wondering where we're at on that. Oh, and let's not forget the Crush Sour Patch Kids berry soda.
That was something to try. Even though I've had it for a while. I should have brought it in earlier. I just forgot.
Well,
or
I
maybe
haven't been here.
You haven't been here, so you haven't had a chance to try it that way. But we mentioned in the Ready Player 2, if anybody has had a chance to read the book yet or listen to the audio of it, text us, or just as a podcast listener, you're welcome to text us anytime, 877-2RadioU. Just throw your name on the text and that you're a podcast listener.
All right. Well, you guys have a fantastic day and the last day of November.
Yeah, and it was snowing here. It's stopped off for now,
no,
but
it's kind of stopped. Okay.
I mean, it's been a nice, magical, snowy morning.
So magical. It's just like the prophecy says: when Obadiah returns, the snow will come.
The snow with you. Oh gosh, heaven's tears, right? The frozen tears of joy as they're weeping that you're back.
That's right. It is the RIOT.
This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
I want to say hey to Drew. He says, and I quote, "Great to have you guys back during my commute, usually a podcaster."
Hey, thank you for listening this morning.
Thanks for hanging with us, Drew. I also want to say hi to Zach. He says that he was really disappointed in Black Friday deals this year. I didn't see anything that was like, oh, what a deal, I have to buy that.
Well, I was texting him back. It just felt like there was still a lack of, outside of if you wanted a console or something, there was just a lack of stuff to be excited about.
It really was kind of a dry season. Like, do you want one of those massage things that like punch really hard deep into your muscle? I must have got like a million things that were like, wouldn't you like to have this pressure massager thing? And I'm like, no.
Or an Echo. It's like,
yes, gosh.
Like, that's all you got. That's your only options
we got an Amazon, or what? Would you rather have a Google Home Mini?
It's one of those. And they were all like pretty well priced, but those are the same things that have been pushed for a lot of, I feel like, Cyber Mondays and Black Fridays and stuff. So over the weekend, there wasn't anything too spectacular.
I mean, aside from free shipping on RadioU merch at shop.radiou.com.
You're right,
that was the exception.
I stand corrected. And that is still going on today for Cyber Monday for our RadioU merch through shop.radiou.com.
So closing out the Black Friday over the weekend, did you get anything?
I bought AirPod Pros. So.
Oh,
I did.
Your third pair of AirPods.
Well, no, I gave my first pair to Eric. So that doesn't count anymore.
Yeah, it's fine.
So I don't know what to do with my middle pair, and these won't be here for a few weeks. Thank you, Costco, with the slow shipping. But I finally bought them. They were low enough. They were like $160, give or take a little bit with tax. And
they crossed over.
They did.
They hit that point where you're like, all right,
like,
now cheap enough.
Yeah, and for some reason, my left ear has shifted a bit to where my other AirPods, the normal ones, they don't fit anymore. They literally, like, I have to lay down if I'm going to watch something, and I have to lay down and, like, keep it in. So I think the other AirPods might be better because they have the changeable in-ear things.
Right,
So
right.
I'm looking forward to it. That's like it's a Christmas present.
That's good.
It's a present. I'm not going to open it till Christmas.
That's good. I bought a Google, what's the thing that is your smart thermostat?
Oh, you got a Nest? Or,
Yeah, I got a Nest.
Is Google's Nest or just the version of it?
I don't know, whatever. Like it was on sale, and then my electric company was like, "Hey, if you switch to this, we gonna give you this whatever." So I bought one for like $80 or something. Like it was bizarrely cheap when they're normally like $200 or $300. So
sometimes you can even get them for free, depending on if you have a rebate. But it depends on which ones.
I will say, like, if I had gone with like the lower model, it would have been less expensive. But I don't know. I got suckered into I upsold myself. So
it's fine.
Good job,
it's fine.
me. But yeah, nothing exciting. I'm not just like, oh my gosh, Nikki, you're not gonna believe what I got. I got just a thermostat. What?
What are you doing?
How freaking lame! Like I can't even believe I brought it up.
Like, well, it is practical.
That's how lame it is.
Sometimes you just need a practical item. It's fine.
This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, who's been sitting in my chair?
Over there?
Because my eyes are starting to itch, which means that somebody's been sitting in my chair.
Maybe someone over the week. This is Obi's first morning officially back in the studio. Even on Friday, you were still doing it from home.
I was.
Because he's been sick and recovering for a while.
I've had COVID for my whole life now.
It felt like it, didn't it? But I wonder, maybe someone over the weekend, or it's usually, I think, Sydney or Hudson. I think they're the main ones.
It's fine. It's fine. I will tell you guys, really good to be back. And I'm feeling so much better. Like when I came back 3 weeks ago and had to leave again, you guys remember that?
The one morning he was like, it's good to be back. And you were just so happy. And then you're like, the next day he's gone.
Yeah, you know what? Like I was really sick. And even then I was like, I can do it. I know I can do it.
But you had a fever, and so you couldn't.
No,
you just weren't allowed to even come back in.
Well, what's funny is at the time I was like, no, I'm feeling a lot better. But in retrospect, totally not. Like I was still sick. Now I'm just like, I actually do feel good. I pulled into the parking lot and I was like, yeah, woo!
He's back. He's feeling better.
I'm doing it, guys.
And tomorrow you're going to feel just as good, right?
Man,
just as good.
No, I can't. No, I can't go back. Like I've been back like twice now. I can't go back. I'm out. I'm rehabilitated. I haven't had a fever for 10 days, I think. So and I've been checking.
You just have to check all the time. Andy says, welcome back to the studio, Obi.
Well, I am really glad to be here, Andy, and everybody else, which I realize that by the end of the week, I'll be like, I can't believe I have to go to work. I hate it.
But for now, you really do appreciate being back.
Yeah, well, and hating coming in is part of being back. So that's when we'll know I'm fully back.
You're just going to be 100% better.
Listening to the worst of the Riot is the equivalent of standing in line at the BMV. Ugh. Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
You know, the phone calls and the text messages are starting to roll in. And I don't mean to the studio. I mean the phone calls and the text messages from the moms, the girlfriends, and the wives of my friends who see me as some sort of a bad influence during the year. But now all of a sudden that there's a brand new console launch and they want to try to help find their boyfriend, son, husband, one of those PlayStations he wants.
They know to ask you for help finding it. Oh, I bet they're just really hitting you up.
All of a sudden they're like, hey, you know the video game stuff. You know the stuff. Where do you have extra ones?
Aww.
Do I have extra? Oh yeah. Closet full. Come on in. Take your pick.
Do you remember when you were younger, like your mom would do anything to try to get you the console? Like, especially moms are out there just trying to find something.
Yeah, it's It's tough, like law of the wild out there. And it's even uglier when you see things like this. There is a company, a group of people, Crep Chief Notify. They are an organized group of resellers. Mm-hmm. They managed to get their hands on 3,500 PlayStation 5s, and they say now over 1,000 Xbox Series X's. And so if you find yourself in a position where you...
No, don't do it.
No. I was going to say where you can't find one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Because they're buying them up.
It's driving me insane.
It really, I mean, again, we say this every time. This goes back to the start of quarantine back in like March when the Switches were so hard to find and everybody just wanted like... You wanted an inflatable pool for your yard. Like, you wanted all this stuff, and people just swoop in, and with bots, they take it all. Retailers really need to figure out so they're not making their customers mad, because then the customer can never buy anything.
It is difficult. It has been, I mean, maybe it's just the year that I've paid attention. Maybe it's been like this before, but I don't feel like I've ever seen such a shortage of things that people want, and also just the flagrant buying and reselling. Like, it's become this whole animal.
Well, it was even with toilet paper, remember? People were trying to resell that, or remember they would buy up all the hand sanitizer, and then it finally became back in stock, and so they were stuck with all this stuff. But, I mean, everything became hard to buy. Consoles, no exception.
It is ridiculous. And it's out there. Like, that's where it's at. Like, people are just, like, they're getting desperate. And all I can say is, I'm sorry. I wish I could help you, but you can't have mine.
Can't actually help you.
And I can't help you.
I think they want you to tell them when they're available, like, back in stock. So that'd be it.
Well, I will tell you, PlayStation tweeted out a couple days ago. They said, hey, the demand for PS5 is very high, but that they are going to continue stocking stores through the end of the year. There was this kind of rumor floating. I kept hearing like, man, you're not going to see another PlayStation till February. That's it. They're all gone.
But weren't people mad? Did I see a few times like we're restocking through like Walmart and a few other places were happening, but it was all overnight to where if you weren't up paying attention, you wouldn't get one anyways because it would sell out so quickly and it was like 2 a.m. So it's not when you were looking.
Oh, yeah. No, that's real.
It's like, why are they doing it then? You're not going to get it unless you're a bot.
Here's the thing, guys. If you are not right now, if you don't have 5 things in front of you with multiple tabs open, refreshing constantly.
All hours of the night.
You're never going to get what you're looking for. Oh, yeah. And please don't sleep. You need to be awake and monitoring.
Sleep in January. If you really want something, how bad do you want it?
It's tough out there.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So I'm back in the studio for the first time in 3 weeks. It's fine. I'm fine. We're all fine. Thank you. But it has given me a really unique perspective on the supply levels in the break room right now.
What do you mean? Like the food in there?
It's all the same food.
Well, no
even the bag of pretzels. No one has eaten the pretzels.
So I think that means you were the only one eating the pretzels in the first place.
And it was just they were only there that one day. I came in it's in 5 weeks. I've been here for 1 day.
And he's the only one enjoying the pretzels.
These pretzels are delicious.
But maybe they don't know that. Are those the ones that are on the cart, or are those the ones that? That's not the peanut butter pretzels, then, is it?
No.
I didn't even know those were over there.
Bavarian. I don't even know what Bavarian means. It's like a something pretzel.
Okay, it's that style.
It's good.
Yeah.
Why isn't anybody else eating these pretzels?
When you weren't in, the urge to eat wasn't there. The urge to snack.
But there was no competition. People were like, there's no hurry. Obadiah's not here to eat it all up, so I don't have to rush.
I didn't feel like eating a pretzel because I knew that they would still be there the next day. Now that you're back, it's different.
Now that you're back, we're back to hoarding these snacks in the break room.
Hiding things in the closet and just putting a little baggie of your own things just where you can find it.
I noticed that Michael has Diet Mountain Dew on the fridge. He doesn't have his name on it. That's about to change.
The soda's all been in there too. It's just been,
it's
like time froze, except we were still working. But food time froze.
Well, you know what? I'm just putting out a notice.
Obie's back.
I'm back.
And he's ready to eat all this
if you think that those pretzels are just going to sit there waiting for somebody to come along.
If not, maybe you didn't realize you were the only one eating them all the time anyways.
I don't care. The thing that bugs me is there's not a bag. It's like a baggie, so I need somebody to get me a brand name in here.
You want to know what those were?
I got to get some more of these pretzels.
Well, we'll find out, but Obi's back with his appetite, and the pretzels are going to be gone before we know it.
There's only like 3 left in the bag.
Aww.
I should have just finished the bag.
Well, you probably will later. There's still the whole morning left.
Show's not over.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on RadioU.
United Airlines has something they want you to know.
What do they want to tell everybody?
They want you to know that they have begun their first chartered flights to move the Pfizer COVID vaccine, as the FAA has approved a plan to fly it in dry ice at minus 70 degrees as the U.S. prepares for a mass inoculation program.
Oh, so it's the shipping in of the stuff?
That's
it's
right.
just shots? I assume it's shots. I don't know.
I mean, I think you get a shot.
I think you do.
Man, you know what? Big Needle paid for all this.
I don't want that. And it's 2 of them. You got to get 2 shots.
Do you?
Yeah, it's an opener and closer, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that. But I mean, like, not me.
Well, do you have to, though, after 3 months?
I don't know. It depends on who you talk to. Here's something I've noticed about COVID-19. One, I had to go to a COVID-19 specialist, and that lady was really honest with me. She was just like, yeah, we don't know.
And you've wanted that from a doctor this whole time, right?
Thank you.
Thank you for the honesty.
That. She's like, bottom line is, if you got a fever, stay home. You know, like I had this great conversation with this specialist. It was a lot of fun. I wish you all could have been there, but it was just me. Sorry.
We're not good enough to get into there.
But going on that theme, that was one. 2 is because nobody knows, you're getting both. Some people are like, that vaccine is going to rot your brain. And it's going to kill you, and it's going to this you, and it's going to that you, and et cetera, it's whatever. So some people are like, hey, there's no way I'm going to take it. But again, I can't get anybody to tell me, hey, I've had COVID-19. Do I need the vaccine? And they're like, well, maybe.
They're probably just going to tell you, yeah, just eventually.
Wait, what do you mean by maybe? Yeah, we don't know. Maybe. Probably. Should probably get it. I don't know. So.
I'm sure you will. Why not?
Hey, man, you guys know my deal. When I go to the doctor and pay my copay, I'm like, what do you got?
I will take anything and everything.
Whatever.
Is it free? I'll take it. Can I get some samples?
What do you guys got in there? You got any vaccines? Like, man, we got vaccines for stuff you never even heard of. Sweet. Let's do
I'm
it.
the opposite. I'm just like, no, I'm good. Thank you. I don't want it.
What do you guys got? No, I just wonder because for me, I've taken a COVID-19 vaccine. It's taken me 5.5 to 6 weeks, so it's a long process.
His COVID vaccine was just COVID, so that's why. In case someone listening was like, wow, what did he get? Why is he so special?
I got the antibodies, baby.
He's got the whole thing.
You want to come snuggle with me?
Well, now that you're fever-free.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not contagious anymore. Now I'm antibody contagious, which, by the way, is not a thing.
So they're flying all the vaccine stuff in?
Yeah. In the United States, it's going to be... So basically, it's coming in from Europe. It's going to be produced in the U.S. at a plant in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Mm-hmm. And they're going to start rolling it out. So depending on where you live, et cetera, you could get a COVID vaccine this year. Or you could just get COVID and after 6 weeks feel great. It's a rough ride.
That's not what I think people want.
That's not it?
No,
okay.
It's not. That was your situation, and I don't think anybody else really wants that. So
you kind of don't.
They won't. Don't want to run the risk.
Just going to be honest with you. Not great.
Obi's was tougher than most, but no one even wants any of that.
Hey, you know what? The big important thing here is United Airlines, Nikki. Come on. Man,
I was expecting you to tell me there was some fight for like the people on board that they're just fighting about. I don't know. The vaccines are on there, and there's still something going on with all the passengers.
Nope, United's out there just like you need a vaccine. We're the ones getting it to you. Fly United.
Did they really need to send that out as a press release?
I'm not going to say they said it exactly like that, but they're thinking it.
You Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Little announcement over the weekend, and that is that Super Nintendo World in Japan is going to be opening up on February 4th.
I saw so many people that are so excited because they thought it was Universal like in Orlando, and you're like, no, it's in Japan, but it looks amazing. It looks way better than I thought it was going to look.
It's really cool.
It is.
I will say, I went to Universal Studios a couple of years ago, and because you're used to, at least to me, I feel like I only ever go to Disney stuff. They're always recreating Disney things, and it's like, yeah, it's neat, whatever. But going to Universal, some of the things they recreate there, it was cooler. I'm just going to be honest with you. And so when you look at this Mario recreation stuff, I mean, I don't know how much Mario Kart you've played, but I've played my fair share.
It looks pretty spot on.
Yeah, when you get into, there's a Bowser's Castle, and when you get a look at it, the inside recreation, it's like a level from Mario Kart. It looks amazing. Really cool. So they announced that along with the area opening, the big draw is going to be the Mario Kart themed roller coaster. But it's not just a coaster. So you'll get on this roller coaster, but then you're also going to put on some augmented reality glasses.
Ooh.
And they look like, it's kind of a face shield that looks like a Mario hat.
Yeah.
And so you'll be going along doing the roller coaster things, but there's also going to be a virtual show that's going to be happening inside the goggles, glasses, whatever.
That kind of means they had a space limitation,
Yeah.
and which is true. I mean, it's not the biggest part. It's just a segment of Universal Japan, but that just means in order to make it a little bit more extra special, they had to go virtual reality, which is fine.
I just want to know, how convincing is that? You know, like how good?
Oh, I bet it's way more. We've never done VR like on a roller coaster.
Right.
I bet it tricks your mind enough.
Okay. I'm just curious to see what that would be like. I mean, let's be honest. Nikki and I have been talking about going to Japan for probably 200 to 300 years, and we haven't quite made it yet. This is probably not going to be the thing that pushes us over.
So it's opening on February 4th, and that is in Japan. The question was, everybody was just like, well, how will it be to travel there? Is it possible to travel there? Do you have to quarantine if you go travel there? By that point in early February. So they weren't sure if that's more targeted towards people in Japan, or they want to try to bring tourists over.
I don't know. I can tell you, my friend that lives in Japan, like their instances of COVID-19 are very, very low. And they attribute that. Now, nobody get mad. I'm just going to tell you what they said. Okay. Basically, in Japan, if the government asks you to do something, people are just like, yeah, whatever.
And they already had masks to begin with.
A lot of them wore masks anyway. So they, the public culture in Japan is very different than it is in the United States. And they say that has contributed to a very low instance rate of COVID-19 there. So you, being an American, get over there and help them get their numbers up.
Oh, I just want to go see. Like Mario is something we grew up with. Like Mario has a lot of happy memories like that, and current memories. We still love anything Mario. Like,
still playing it.
That's a theme park I am more interested in going now that I saw the finished photos.
It looks really, really cool. So a lot of my, natural cynicism towards the project, obviously it's there to make money, but, here, go ahead and take my money.
You can. It'll eventually come to Orlando.
Yes.
It'll come to other Universal Studios, but that's down the road.
Yeah. And February 4th in Japan. So Nikki and I can go ahead and register those
I've learned from you. I'm not booking anything anytime soon. No.
Everything I've booked is over.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Burger King Japan has just unveiled the Extreme Burger. Did you see this?
I did. Is it the one with like all the beef patties, but there's no hamburger bun?
It is basically the double down of Japan.
So there's 4 hamburger patties, but the 2 form a bun, and then there's the inside of like the lettuce, tomato, the cheese, and the ketchup, and then you have 2 more hamburger patties to be the other bun.
For the bun. So yeah, you've got all the toppings that you would get on a Whopper. It's like they've turned that into the sandwich, and then they've turned the burgers into the buns.
I hate to tell them, but especially since keto is so popular here, like they're calling it the Extreme Burger there. Here you're like, yeah, that's just a day. That's a lunch. You could do that. You could eat that easily.
No big deal. It's fine.
So they're saying 1 pound of meat, tomatoes, lettuce, pickles, onions, and cheese.
Yeah, it looks, I mean, get those onions off of there, of course, but looks pretty good. I like the idea. They say it's an entire pound of meat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I will say I don't know about that. I always think the thing that I have to keep reminding myself is every time I go to a burger place, I'm like, I'll take the triple. I'm starving. And then by the time I'm like 5 bites into a triple, I'm like, what am I doing with my life right now?
But if it didn't have the bun, maybe if you weren't filling up on that part.
You think so?
Now, you can get a bun version. That's called the maximum burger. That you can have, and it does have buns with it. They say that the burger in Japan is $13.50, which makes it 3 times the price of a Whopper normally in that country.
Well, Nikki, I feel like Burger King Japan is running into what I like to call the Apple problem, where they're like, hey, do you want the extreme burger? No, I want what was it called?
The maximum?
I want the maximum. And they're like, so the extreme maximum? Yeah, extreme maximum. Or is it the Pro Max? Is it the iPhone Pro? Is it the iPhone Pro Max?
Well, for me, I was just looking at it, I thought it doesn't look as extreme as I thought. Normally, Burger King and even McDonald's will come up with some pretty unique, they're just there to sell for a few weeks sort of hamburger. It's not like they actually expect it to stay around. It's just for shock and awe.
Right.
But this doesn't look too shocking. This looks totally doable.
Well, and I think this is a sign that Burger King Japan is doing something that Burger King in the United States is not doing, and that is apparently they still care.
They do.
Burger King in the United States has given up.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, it would appear that I right now have enough snack news for you and I to talk about nothing but food from here until the end of the show.
Well, it's only fitting. I mean, we went from the extreme one in Japan from Burger King, but if you go to the UK, there's a couple of new offerings there, too, that look pretty tempting.
Oh, wait, I wasn't even going to talk about that.
Oh, those?
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead. Nikki's talking about the KFC gravy boat.
So the KFC is offering in the UK, they're saying that roast dinners in the UK are kind of more popular around the year. Not so much here in the United States.
Meaning like Thanksgiving where we roast a turkey.
Well,
is that what you mean?
No, like a roast dinner, which can be
like a
which
slab
has
of
gravy.
Meat, like your mom's making a roast?
No, yeah, basically, which has gravy. So
Okay.
something that has gravy where here, I don't know about you guys, but if I ever have gravy, it's only on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's rare.
But they do more roast dinners year round. So in the UK, they are doing a gravy box burger meal. So it's a fried chicken sandwich with cheese, gravy-naise, which is a blend of gravy and mayo that stays like on the bottom of the bun.
Gross.
And then on the top of it, they're putting a hash brown, which is going to act, they're calling it as the boat. And then they fill that with gravy and then put the bun on the top.
I mean, it does look good.
Does it? I think it does, kinda. There's some things I would take out. I would take out the cheese and I would take out the gravy-naise.
Well, the gravy maize is out. But do you like mayonnaise?
I do not. I actually don't really like gravy too. So I would tell them to stop having the gravy. I want the chicken, the bun, and the hash brown. That's it.
You know what's funny is I'm normally not much of a gravy person.
Yeah.
But KFC gravy, which is like nothing, like it's not even really gravy.
It's not gravy.
I love it.
So they're promising.
I love it.
They want it to be, they want you to get this and that it's like brimming and soaking with gravy. And that is going to be a limited time during this holiday season. It's not in the U.S. It is in the U.K. And you get a side dish, a drink in a box with an extra little bit of gravy-naise. And that's their holiday special.
Just the idea of pouring KFC gravy on just about anything sounds pretty good. And again,
I think you're just hungry.
Real, actual homemade gravy that, is an actual food? No. Whatever that powdered, I don't even know what they're making at KFC. That's the stuff I like.
So there's one more thing in the UK just for food news, and then I'll wrap it all up. This is Pizza Hut's UK Christmas pizza that they're doing.
What?
It's got, you ready? I don't think you'll like this.
Where's the American food news?
We don't get anything fun like this. It's rotisserie chicken, crispy bacon, sage and onion stuffing, as in like Thanksgiving stuffing, with a all-over red wine gravy foundation to it. Like that's the...
Does that mean the sauce?
I think that's like the pizza sauce that we have here. It'd be a red wine gravy, and that's the Christmas pizza from Pizza Hut in the UK.
Shredded...
I don't think you'd be as into it, but basically it's just like a stuffing and a graving pizza. So that's the main points from it.
I mean, I guess. Like, I hate onions, so we're going to have to get rid of the stuffing.
I don't
even eat stuffing normally because onions. But would you eat it?
I would.
No, okay, wait. Would you order it? Like, would you pay your money to have Pizza Hut bring you this Christmas dinner pizza with chicken, bacon, sage, and onion and red wine?
If it was good for social media, like if it was good for a nice post, but that would be about it.
Okay.
It is a limited time thing, and I think that's fine.
Well, that was an honest response.
I know.
Could
you got
I
a good
get
picture.
some hearts?
But outside of that, those are two new UK limited time holiday items.
Yeah, well, Merry Christmas, America. You ain't getting nothing. Maybe a vaccine if you're lucky.
We don't get anything else.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Over the weekend, I completely lost track of it, but Ready Player 2 came out this weekend.
The book?
The book.
Why did I feel like the book was out already? Or was it just the lead up to it?
Maybe it was the lead up to it. I don't know. Of course, Ready Player One, the movie, 2 years ago, I think, from Steven Spielberg.
Not as good as the first book. Still good.
I enjoyed the book. But here's the problem with the book. Is that
the first one or the second one?
I'm going to start with the first book. Mm-hmm. The problem with it is that it is basically just a piece of 80s nostalgia. It's like if you were a kid sitting around and you're like, what if I grew up and the whole world was based on the stuff I liked? And that's kind of what that book is. But it's a lot of fun to read. And the issue, I am going to say, is not necessarily with the book, but a lot of people hate that book. And the reason they hate it is because it was so successful. The people who review books hate Ready Player One. And the people who review books, shock and surprise, hate Ready Player 2. And I still say it goes back to these guys and girls and whatever, like when they're writing their reviews, they want to see independent authors succeed, but not independent authors that write pop culture. Like, wait.
Well, the guy the guy who wrote Ready Player One?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he published it independently.
He self-published, yep.
He made all this money. I mean, he did that all on his own.
Yeah. People don't like that. Unless, of course, it would be okay if he had written a book called Pain and Yearning. It was all about
more
pain,
artistic
and yearning. And that's the thing.
Sure.
And now he'd be on Pain and Yearning 2, TOO.
More yearning.
More yearning with the pain. This one's more yearning than pain.
So you're saying if it was along that more artistic style,
yes,
then of course he would be like a darling of the book world because
absolutely,
he did it on his own. But because it is more popular culture stuff, they don't like it as much.
The reviews are just bad. Like, people hate it. Like, I have yet to read a single thing about it that's good. Now, in fairness, maybe it's no good. I read his follow-up book, not Ready Player 2, but it was called Armada. And I'll say, not good.
So there is a chance.
There's a chance.
Too, but is it enough to not have you read it, or you still want to try it, don't you?
I would still like to read it. I forgot it was out there.
Oh, did you?
I did. I totally forgot that it was out there. So I caught a bunch of bad reviews last night, and I was like, oh, everyone hates it. I'll probably like it.
Maybe do that during Christmas break.
It's a good idea. I did fulfill my yearly Christmas tradition over Thanksgiving, and that was every year. Speaking of 80s nostalgia, I read a book called 8-Bit Christmas that is all about a kid that wants a Nintendo for Christmas. I think I've read that every year for like the last 5 years or something. I look forward to it. I read it every year, and it's good.
It's a tradition.
It is.
So has anybody read Ready Player 2? Anybody else finished it yet?
Well, if anybody has, you should text me and let me know what you think. 8772 RadioU, because, I'm curious. It's any good? Or I guess what you think is good, because everyone else doesn't.
Deep down, we just want to know, should we put the loan-in request for the library or should we pay for the thing?
There it is.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
Yeah, I feel like I need an intervention.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need some serious-minded people with some serious solutions for serious problems.
We got a problem that we need to fix?
Yeah, I'm not even gay. Like, I'm just straight up, we're getting fat now. Like, that's... Like, it's not...
I came into work today, too. I was like, today we are getting serious.
We got to think it through, man.
The last several months have just been unprecedented.
I'm telling you, it's real.
I know,
And
I agree.
I've spent the last 5-6 weeks, I don't know, whatever, in the basement in survival mode where you're just like, I don't even care, whatever.
Your body was confused thinking it was supposed to start winter weight, hibernating, but no, you were just quarantined.
Haven't had any exercise. I mean, honestly, height of COVID, exercise was like, I think I can make it to the stop sign and back. I'm pretty sure I can get down there.
But you feel better enough? Do you think you want to start that back, or do you need to still rest a little bit?
You know what? This is going to sound dumb, but it's true. I'm a little afraid to go work out today because I'm afraid that I'll be so wiped out I won't be able to come back tomorrow.
You have to work your way into it.
Which I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'm being completely honest about that because... that whole COVID fatigue thing, everybody makes fun of it. Everybody's like, I'm always tired anyway. Me too. I totally get it.
Well, that means we have to eat right then. If you're not going to work out.
How do you even do that?
Well, I mean, we just need to take a look at what are our goals today.
Don't even have any.
No goals, so you got to make a goal.
So
I wanted to do more water, so we got the big water back. And I want to have no desserts today.
Which, you know what?
Which I've had plenty of.
I know that sounds ridiculous, but coming off of Thanksgiving weekend.
I had a Costco apple pie for several days that was just delicious, and I can't do that anymore.
We gotta bring it back.
So that was my goals for today.
Okay, my goal for today, and I'm not just saying this, was to make it here and home.
Look. Good job, and that's a big goal.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
At least.
So, I don't know if there's anything else you want to throw in there, but I think for everybody, it's just baby steps today.
All right.
And the whole week, because then we're just going to... I actually said to myself, too, I was like, well, why bother? Because it's going to get to Christmas, and then, why don't we just do this in January, which is why everyone does it in January.
I had the exact same thought. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go to the Christmas holiday, really trying to cinch up the belt, right?
But I feel like we've lost more control than we normally have by December.
I completely agree.
So I feel like something's needed.
Something needs to change. And as soon as we get to January, let's do it.
And if anybody is waiting until January, then that's fine, too. Whatever is going on is all fine.
We're not here to tell you how to live.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Now, how are you going to save money so that you can give money? This is, I don't know. I think it's funny. Nikki, do you know what a Flowbee is?
A Flowbee?
A Flowbee?
I have not.
A Flowbee apparently
How do you spell
is
it?
It's a FLOWBEE. It's just, I guess
it's a hair thing.
It's like a little generic thing. It sucks and cuts your hair.
Oh, it looks like a vacuum cleaner sort of style where it must have the blades or the tool inside of it. Wow, I've not seen that before.
Do you know what celebrity has been cutting their hair with the Flowbee for 25 years?
What celebrity?
One of your personal favorites.
Which one?
George Clooney.
Oh, I don't like. And I'm sure he's a nice person, but he's not my style.
I know.
I don't want someone thinking, oh, she really likes George Clooney. Again, nothing against him, but no, I don't like his work.
I just think it's fascinating.
It's not his hair.
For a couple of years there, he was the sexiest man alive, right? Didn't people give him they did, back in the day. And in the middle of all of that, you always think they got a whole team of people. They got a team of people working together, making them look good.
No, I'm sure he was just using this at home, but he still had people doing his hair.
I don't know. He says he did have people doing it. It was him.
It was him in this. Is he a sponsor now, or is he part owner of it?
I don't know if Flowbee is
Is it still around?
Wow. Oh, my gosh. They had a whole thing. It is the lockdown self-haircut.
Oh, maybe that became popular then. I didn't see the Flowbee, but I did say well, I'm sure tailored to me was all the longer hair ones of people bleaching and dyeing their hair, but not actually using this device.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm watching video of it right now, and it. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's the vacuum suck. It sucks while it cuts.
That's it.
Yes, well, it certainly does suck.
That's what it does. Interesting. So George Clooney is a fan, and that's what he does.
I just wanted to say to everybody that you can achieve celebrity looks at home with this simple invention.
But is it just for short hair, though? Like, you can't. It's not going to cut longer hair.
I mean, it will.
Well, it'll cut your whole hair.
Don't you worry, Nikki.
I think this looks like it's more for short hair.
It seems to be more for a certain type of hair.
Style.
Yeah. But, dude, some people, like, you definitely, when you Google it, there's some people that have had some Flowbee accidents.
But otherwise, they were excited to hear this. This has made Flowbee's year. They've already had more with the quarantine no haircut stuff. It's been their resurgence, but now they really have an endorsement right there.
Can't get to the salon because of COVID. Do what George Clooney does. See, it writes itself.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I'm back, baby.
Obi, it's his first day back in the actual studio because he's been broadcasting from home for many, many, many weeks, and he's back and feeling better.
It's really great to be here, and I mean that, which means we're early in the process.
Check in with him tomorrow, or better yet, later this week.
I think I'll still be happy tomorrow. I think it's going to be, I'd say, Thursday.
Reality hits in.
Yeah, that's when it starts to set in, when you're like, boy, I sure have been going for a lot of days.
Well, I think a lot of people have been working from home. I think putting that aside, it's different when you have to work from home, but you're still very sick. I mean, his COVID was a lot more than the average person. So that's different when you're working from home and you're not feeling well.
It sucked.
And you have to stay at home. You couldn't leave. You had to stay there.
No, I was taking, you know what I was doing, like trying to kind of keep whatever. I was taking walks at what I thought were like off times during the day because I was allowed to be outside, just not around people. And so I would, walk to the stop sign and back, which is... That's like 100 feet.
Well, you also couldn't walk very long anyway.
I couldn't. And so you're just like, I'm trying to keep my energy up. Walk to the stop sign, take a 3-hour nap.
That was your schedule.
It's big stuff, man.
But now, today, you're getting in your car, you're driving into work, and you're working here.
I figure, honestly, today, I'll bet you I go home and I'm just like, I can't live. I'm so tired.
If you have to take a nap today, do not feel bad about it.
No,
People would want to take a nap anyways. It's been a long Thanksgiving weekend, so everybody's tired.
You know what? I like that. Why don't we all just let's just be guilt-free about it. I know some people that are 100% guilt-free about their naps, and I feel like we could all learn something from them.
That's right. If you need to take a nap today, take a nap today.
I wouldn't be surprised if I'm taking a nap today.
Going to our earlier discussion, we did talk about how we had to start eating better. So I think we should still try that today.
The thing is, though,
sleeping is important towards losing weight.
Sometimes it's hard to get to sleep, and so I like to do something like have like a cupcake or,
I've had so many evening meals, like later after supper.
Oh, you don't mean dinner. You mean like...
evening.
You're talking like Taco
o'clock?
Bell, like the fourth meal.
Yes, it's like, what's going on?
Well, Nikki, that does happen when you stay up.
You can't, and when you stay up, but you can't have like mashed potatoes at like 10 o'clock at night and then wonder the next day, like, what's going on?
You can.
You can, but is it right all those days?
You know what? You put some mashed potatoes and some corn pudding.
I put just corn in it.
Great. So good.
Body today is going to be like, what's happening? I'm out of leftovers.
You know what? I'm not out of leftovers, but I actually just told one of my roommates via text. I was like, hey, we got to throw the leftovers out.
Well, we're out of leftovers of the fun stuff. I still have plenty of turkey for days, but it's the other stuff that I'm out of.
Hey, I like some turkey. You make that sandwich. I'm still making that sandwich where you with the bread and the mashed potatoes and the turkey. I'm still making it.
Still doing it. It's fine. It's fine. That'll lead to also a good nap later today if you have that.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
So I'm back today in the studio over the course of 5 weeks, this is the second time I've been here. And you know what? I'll have to say,
steps, right?
with having COVID-19, I feel like that first 2-week quarantine that I went through, I did okay with that. I was really sick, but, I was doing the Riot at home and all that stuff, and it was fine. I felt like emotionally I was handling it.
Yeah.
But I came back to work that one Monday and then went out to lunch, started shaking, got a fever, had to go home. Then I ended up having to go to level 2 COVID interactions. And when I left that second doctor's appointment where they were like, hey, you have to start quarantining again, bro.
Did it get real? Really real?
I got so angry. And I mean mad. Like frustrated, upset, like the whole 9 yards, right?
There's different levels of mad, funny mad, da-da-da-da-da, and then real.
It got real on that drive home, dude. I was so unbelievably angry about it. And, I ended up in quarantine for another 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, whatever. It sucked. But I just want to give some credit where credit is due, right? I know a lot of people prayed for me. And one of the things that I really, especially in those other 2 weeks where I was just so frustrated and so despondent, you know what? I really felt like every single morning as I was getting out of bed, I really felt like God was sitting there as I would get up. It was like I would get up in the morning and God was there, ready to help me do what I needed to do. And I was super great. RadioU did not make me do the Riot. Because I had some people I can't believe they're making you work. And I was like, no. I wanted to. I wanted to do the Riot. I think it went a long way towards helping me stay sane and to
having
stay connected.
To do each day.
Yeah, no, I think it was really good for me to do. But man, God really helped me. He really sat there with me, and it felt like he was just there helping me get up and helping me do the things that I needed to do. And I'm so grateful for Jesus in my life and him being a part of that. And I just say that because it's not me. It's not because Obadiah is on the radio, he gets special attention from God, but the rest of us have to, eke out our living as best we can. No, the very same friendship and help that I got from God, anybody can have that. God can be with you right where you are right now. And if you don't have a relationship with him, or I would even say if you have one and you haven't asked for help, man, just do that, because what God did for me, I know he can do for you. And if you don't know him, just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to have a relationship with you. I could use some of that help. Please help me. Man, God is all about that. He loves you so much. And if he can be there for me in the dark on a whatever morning when I got COVID and brain rot and I don't even know what else, I know that God can be there to help you too. So ask him today. Don't do today by yourself.
The Riot Podcast. Radio U.
Good morning to Eric, who stopped in the studio this morning
to bring you a little something.
He did. He brought some magic potion.
I warn you about this stuff. It's phenomenal, but I don't know if do you normally have regular soda?
No.
Okay, that's the hard part. I normally only have diet soda, so sugar soda really does a number on me. So when I have this stuff, it's amazing, but to me, it gives me a headache afterwards.
Okay, so what it is it's Crush Sour Patch Kids Berry.
It's so good. I told him to stop buying it because it's like a hard drug.
It smells like...
It's like a blue,
kind of like almost.
It's artificial.
A Kool-Aid / Now and Later poured into a Mountain Dew. Okay,
so he's going to try it for the first time.
Blue. I told Eric, I was like, that is a color that exists just to let you know it is not available in nature.
No, and do you have a lot of Sour Patch Kids or
I love Sour Patch Kids. I seldom eat them, but I really like them.
Then welcome to your first hit because it'll change your life.
Oh my gosh!
But then you start craving it, and you're just like, oh no, it gets less and less, and then you can just handle it more.
Man, that's extra.
Oh, it's so good, though. It's just, it's this hit afterwards of pure, like, candy. Pure candy.
I feel like
You'll get a serious headache.
my mouth, like, puckers are like...
It really tastes like Sour Patch Kids.
Wow. And it feels like that, you know the stuff on the outside of a Sour Patch Kid, like the sugar stuff?
Yeah, it's that.
I feel like that's coating my teeth right now.
You almost feel like it's in it, like it's got grains of it.
How do you...
But again, you just keep drinking it, and before you know it, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is fine. I can handle this.
Okay, after my third drink, I finally tasted the berry. Mm-hmm. It took that long to cut through.
I told him he cannot buy them anymore. He just can't.
Woo! Woo! Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Most energized that you'll be in weeks.
Man, that's the COVID cure right there.
I know.
That's what you needed.
That's a little bit of that cough syrup medicine right there.
I don't think I want any more.
You say that now?
I don't think I want any.
So it's Crush Sour Patch Kid soda. But then what happens is you're like, oh, I'll just go take a hit. I'll just go take a little cup. You just take a little sip here and there. And before you know it, that's gone. It's all gone.
I got chills now.
Well, let me know when the headache comes. You want to really hydrate after having it. You really want to get some extra water in you.
Whoa. Oh, it's got me. It's got me. Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, right now.
All right. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
It is a powerful soda.
It is powerful.
Even again, so I normally have diet, not regular. Even for regular, I feel like it's extra, extra powerful.
It is.
It's got extra stuff in it.
It is. That's like the exact opposite of diet soda.
Yep.
They were like, whatever we took out of the diet, we put into this.
They put extra. I need a zero version of that.
The Riot RadioU.
Nikki's goal today to not eat dessert may actually be attainable.
It could be. And also what helps is I did finish off the Thanksgiving dessert options that we had. So
last night.
Technically, I'd have to go find Halloween candy in my house if I wanted to have anything else. But I think it's obtainable today. We're just taking a step back.
Well, Nikki, you've got one day that you can do that because tomorrow's the first day of December.
Yeah.
And tomorrow is technically the day that Reese's snack cakes will become available in gas stations.
Ooh.
It seems to me that they must have been available, I don't know, maybe at grocery stores or something like that, but they have decided that it's time for them to expand their horizons.
Well, don't you remember? That wasn't the point for these Reese's snack cakes. The point is not for you to want it was almost like they're trying to break into the snack market outside of thinking this is a candy bar.
Right.
Like they want you to not think, I shouldn't have a candy bar. I'm not going to have this. They want you to think, oh, I can have a snack. I'm going to have a snack cake.
Well, they say that they are even going as far as they're going to be marketing this as a breakfast food.
Yes. Like a granola bar or something.
You're not going to be able to tell me I realize that most protein bars are really just candy bars.
And they have chocolate in them. I'll sometimes do a protein shake for breakfast, and it's chocolate.
Yeah, so, see, Nikki, you're more than halfway there.
I am. They want you to know that what they're saying is they want you to think of this as not necessarily a dessert, but a snack cake that you can have for breakfast, dinner, a snack here, something there. It's a timeless snack cake. They just want you to not think about it. They just want you to eat it.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Basically, they want you to you're at the gas station and you're desperate. Don't act like you don't know what that is.
Because if you didn't go in, if you go in, you are desperate for something.
Come on. So you're in there, you're a little desperate, but there's still that little part of you that's like, well, I shouldn't just eat a bag of chips or a candy bar, and I guess I'll skip Little Debbie. But then you find this, which they are going to act like is the in-between. Look, it's got peanut butter, it's protein.
So technically, it's not breakfast they're really shooting for with this. It's a mid-morning snack.
Really?
So that is, the word is mid-morning cake treat. And what do we all need right about now, guys, is treats.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I haven't had a treat all day.
I know, and you need one. And when it comes to mid-morning, you're like, yeah, I'll take a treat.
I'm in.
So those are starting tomorrow.
Hey, I'm on the lookout for them because I want to try them. It looks really good.
Well, you've been gone for so many weeks with quarantine that you need to go back to the gas station to get your VIP soda membership. So you need to go
revved back up.
You need to go back.
I want you to know that I went on Friday.
Yeah.
And they
apologized for taking it away.
No, I was like, it was just one of those things where I was like, oh my gosh, I stopped coming in here. You guys let the Diet Mountain Dew run out of syrup.
You're the only one drinking it. It's like the snacks in our break room.
You're
the
only one
eating
the manager. These. Apparently, I am the manager.
You're keeping these things afloat.
We're gonna have a staff meeting right now.
Well, if anyone goes to a gas station tomorrow and tries the Reese's snack cakes for a mid-morning snack, let us know how they are.
Well, I'm on the lookout, dude.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
That is nothing but a hug. It's an ankle hug.
Oh, is it?